ask, first, before we move on to the NIT, what are your thoughts on the selection committee's decision, and going forward, how are you approaching this move to the NIT?
Yeah, I think without a doubt, we were all beyond disappointed last night with not getting selected. I think that we played well enough and deserved an opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament. With that being said, life happens. They picked 8 teams from the ACC conference. They picked 8 teams from the SEC conference. I just hope that the 8 teams that are going to represent us, and I believe in them. I think we have the best conference in the country. I hope they go out and they take care of business and they show how dominant the ACC really is. And then for us, we kind of mourned it last night. We were dejected. I know I was dejected. I needed to sleep on it. I needed to kind of rejuvenate myself, but we just came out of practice. It was probably one of our best practices of the year. They went all out. We said we're in championship season mode, and now, we're going to approach this NIT just like it was the NCAA championship, and we're going to go as hard as we can, and we're going to see what we can do.
All right, Dan.
Yeah, Coach, I was just wondering about that. The fact that you're playing, at least for a trophy, and you have an opportunity to get to get a postseason in. Just in terms of what you've been able to build over the last 4 or 5 years since you came up here, and that you didn't get a chance to play in a tournament a couple of years ago. The opportunity to this year, just what has that meant to the growth of the program?
Getting postseason play, we're never going to take that for granted. We're fired up to be in postseason play, but I do know where our hearts wanted us to be, right? And that's why I said last night we had to get control of our emotions. I mean, I know I was emotional, and my heart literally felt like it broke in my chest. So I can just imagine how our players felt. It was a crushing blow, especially when you have ESPN contact you and they tell you to get ready and show yourself, and all of that. You kind of just, it gives you that excitement. And we all were sitting in that room with that buzz and that excitement, like, when's our name going to be called? When's our name going to be called? And that's true heartbreak and disappointment when you work as hard as our team has worked. But as in life, we are tough women. So we took the night to, like I said, mourn the idea that we were not selected in the top 68 teams. We regrouped ourselves, and now we want to show again the WNIT what we're made of, and show our fans that we're not going to, embarrass this opportunity to be in postseason play. We want to make the most of it, and we're going to go hard, and we're going to do everything we can to, again, maybe get more wins in the win column for us, and maybe have the most wins that Boston College has seen in a while. I don't know what is the most wins that our women's program has had recently or whenever. I don't even know. Can in this WNIT, and like I said to our players today, we got to play with a little bit of a chip on our shoulder, and really, send that message like, hey, we should have been one of those teams, but that only translates when you do really well now with the opportunity that's presenting itself.
Okay, Richard.
Hey, Coach. First of all, congratulations. I know it's a consolation prize, but it's still a prize. Point is that you're going into this a prohibitive favorite. You're not, kind of like an underdog, or you're going to be a 1 or a 2 seed more than likely. So just talk about that situation.
Yeah, we're definitely a 1 seed. The 1 seeds are us, Oregon State, South Dakota State, and who's the other one? Marquette, I believe, are the 4 1 seeds. So, yeah, we're excited to again, it's nice to be in a position where you get to go and hopefully play hard. But I'll tell you, the field of teams, and I'm sure you guys looked at it in the WNIT, is no joke. I mean, it's great competition. As you earn getting in the WNIT because you're a dominant team in a wins-loss. You didn't get in there because you just won a conference tournament at the end of the year. You're in there because you got chosen, and that's something that I look at this field of teams, and there's a lot of good programs in there. So we're excited to be a part of it for sure.
You're probably the flag bearer of the ACC in this tournament as well. So, like you commented before about the field of 8 going to the NCAA, it's kind of on your girls' shoulders now to show what the ACC is made of in this tournament.
Absolutely, I agree.
Okay, Andy.
It's also another opportunity to kind of have a redemption arc after the ACC tournament. I just want to ask, what did you guys learn from that early exit, and how do you look to improve upon this tournament experience?
Yeah, I think we learned that was our playing game, and if we would have won it, we would have been in the NCAA tournament, and that stinks, but we did not play well. We didn't shoot the ball well. I will never say that my team didn't play hard. I thought we played hard in that game. It was just not our night. We didn't shoot the ball well. We had way too many turnovers. So those are the things that, we practiced today, and we really offensively and defensively, and some of the things we did today. Our coaching staff met right before I got on the Zoom, and we all agreed it was one of the best practices we've had when it comes to execution and focus. And, sometimes at the end of the year, that's what your team starts to get a little bit loose on in practice, because it's game, practices, prep, where we've actually had a whole week of just getting to practice, so that's when we really do get to focus in on kind of fine tuning, because, in basketball, there's no little things. And I think those little things, like in that last tournament game against Florida State, we didn't execute on the little things that we needed to offensively, especially. So I thought we did a good job correcting those things in practices last week, and really concentrating on us. And again, that is the privilege of getting to play in the postseason, is you get these extra practices with your team where you get to build that, even for these younger players, they get to build, oh my gosh, my mind just went blank. The experience. Oh my gosh, the word experience was not coming to my head. But they get to build experience that they would otherwise not get to build right now. And I love that. And I know the Boston College women's basketball program is going to continue to be a program that finds itself in this position, and in sitting in that room and hoping that their name is getting called. I hope that we're not so much on the bubble in the future. That's the goal. But I know that this team is going to consistently be a postseason team.
Okay, Dan.
Coach, switching up to Maine, I know BC hasn't played them in a minute or two, but there's a lot of common opponents in there. I know BU and Providence and Albany in the America East.
Right.
Albany.
Albany just beat them
Yeah.
in their championship game, which was at Maine, which of course I watched, right? Because I was coaching at Albany, and I was rooting as hard as I possibly could for Albany, because that's, where I came from. And that's also where I lost my last game there to put us into the NIT, because we had to go to Maine. So, it was kind of a bonus that, everything happens for a reason. I literally just watched them play. And so I know what they run. And even today in practice, I kind of could guess that was who we were going to play, because I knew it was going to be either them or Holy Cross when I saw the field come out, because they try to keep it regionally. And I thought, well, they won't probably give us Holy Cross, because we just, we played Holy Cross this year. So they'll probably try to give us somebody else. And Maine was the other obvious choice. And then outside of those two teams, I wasn't quite sure who they would be.
I was going to ask about the America East. I know you saw Albany this year and you know it well. Just what are you expecting from them now that you've seen them too? I mean, what are you expecting from them? I mean, you only get 3 days to fully prepare for Maine,
which is perfect. I mean, that's what you should have to prepare, right? 2 or 3 days. And, one thing that Maine does a great job of is they spread the floor on you. And they run a really, really nice, unique, like a Princeton style offense, where they cut really hard backdoor, and they all can shoot the ball fairly well from the 3-point line. So it's like that back cut if you're overplayed, and then they reverse, and then they try to play a little bit inside out. And especially now, this team's a little bit different than their teams in the past. What I noticed, unless they had somebody hurt, which again, I have to do a little bit more research, they played a lot more through the high post, as opposed to trying to play through the low post with those back cuts. Normally they play both a high post and a low post. So they're a high motor team. Amy Vachon, their coach, is a very good coach. She really does a nice job with them X and O wise. And then defensively, I'm not sure if they'll play us man or zone, because I don't know what they've done against their team where they have a little bit of a size disadvantage, which we will have a size advantage against them. So I'll have to see what they've done in the past against more of a size advantage team. But what I saw within the Albany game, they played a lot of man-to-man.